show, the fast 5 things you need to know. We'll start your day off swirly, it's the toast. I sound amazing.
Welcome back to the toast and happy Thursday. I forgot what day it was because I'm more fixated on the fact. Yeah, it's Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Or are you looking at me like that? Oh,
No.
I'm more fixated on the fact that it's National Sibling Day, and I am sitting here thinking about how much I love my siblings, and I'm curious to see which of my siblings will reach out and wish me a happy National Sibling Day.
Well, it's very sweet to wish someone a happy National Sibling Day, but I feel like unless you post on Instagram, you didn't really commemorate. Like, you could tell me privately happy National Siblings Day. Also, because I feel like we get National Sisters Day. Siblings are for people with mixed.
And we're just coming off of International Women's Month, which obviously we celebrated.
I feel like thoroughly
extensively
celebrated.
Yeah. No, I'm
need
not going to be
much
posting
more.
on social media. I think like we say this every time, but like creating content around national days is like the lowest form of content. And I'm a better creator than that. I really am. I like to think that I am.
I think that you are. And how do you know it's National Sibling Day? Who told you that?
It was on Twitter. Pop Crave posted a picture of Beyonce and Solange. I also fell for another Pooh Crave tweet this morning.
What was it?
About White Lotus. It said that the creator of White Lotus, Mike White, revealed that there was actually supposed to be in the finale another incest scene between Belinda and Zion.
I believe it.
No, and the thing is, it's like such a crazy show. It's not the most unbelievable thing. I did catch it as Pooh Crave before I kept swiping, but sometimes like I'll keep swiping and not even see. And like Pooh Crave really is such misinformation.
They're
Like,
doing important work.
it's so funny.
Making you question the truth.
Because all of it is somewhat believable.
Yeah.
I could see the scene was Belinda, Zion, and Porn Chai.
Why? Like,
They said
Why?
Zion and Porn Chai like had a threesome with Belinda.
yummy. Yeah.
So I've had like a really busy morning celebrating my sisters and also falling for Pooh Crave.
Understood. I've had a busy morning as well, but I'm happy to be sat here with you. Yesterday was so busy because we recorded the Redheads. Us gals are just so funny. Like, we do not get paid enough for the work that we do. We're so funny. The episode is coming out at some point today because I have to put it together still. But you know what? What's a few more hours? You've
agree.
waited 7 days. And like, I know everyone, like, they wouldn't want me to kill myself to get the episode up. And like, if I had to put it together yesterday, like, I would not be the same girl here today.
I understand. Listen, take your time. Normalize not meeting deadlines. Like, I'm so over like showing up.
No, and you could feel that energy from all of the girls yesterday. Like, all of us had a month. Like,
Yeah.
And then we read this book. The girls were not happy.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a seasonal thing. Everyone's feeling it, or me in particular, because I'm so nuts like about timelines and schedules, and like I'm always making us record like at the exact time, maybe a little earlier. And maybe it's like pregnancy. Like I seriously don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but we do record at the exact time.
No, you know what I mean though. Like I'm very lax these days with like all my responsibilities. Yes. You haven't felt that? I've really like unclenched.
No, but like, so that you should feel good knowing that it may feel for you like you've let things go, but like things feel fine.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Update. My baby is still breech. And to be honest, it's like actually bothering me more than I thought it would. So I'm going to stop talking about it. Like,
okay, well, you have your plans in place. We had
Yes.
long discussions about them in the family chat yesterday. You have plans, Eastern plans.
I'm going to acupuncture today.
Let us know how that is.
I will. But like, seriously, I laid in child's pose and like all these turned poses in my second bedroom for like an hour last night. I felt so sick afterwards. I'm like, if this baby hasn't flipped, I flipped.
Yeah, you're upside down.
I was like upside down on the couch doing spinning babies, like put a Sonos speaker in the entry of my vagina. They say if you play music down at your vagina, the baby can like hear it and like perhaps curiosity will get the best of him and he'll turn right around.
Get a ticket on Game Time.
Correct.
Come on down.
Being like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And if I know my boy, he's definitely curious.
Yeah. Give him time. Trust the process. I know it's like annoying, but there's nothing you can do aside from what you're doing. So
yeah, we're just doing it. And I thought like, I knew he hadn't flipped, but you know, you go in and you're like, maybe I got an A+ on this quiz I didn't study for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's possible. And no.
Well, there's time.
Yeah, whatever.
And coach, you got to relax, you know.
I'm so relaxed.
Stress-free.
If I was any more relaxed, I'd be dead.
Stress-free.
I don't even know stress.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I couldn't edit the redheads last night because I watched Summer House, and I was like, I'm not going to miss Summer House. Lexi was on Watch What Happens Live. I caught about 6 minutes before my TV froze and just didn't come back. And I
thought it was a sign
because I needed to go to sleep. And I was like, okay, it is a sign. All my Wi-Fi, everything, my phone was working. Just this like one program wasn't working. It was a higher power telling me to go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Well, you must listen to the higher power, but I'm glad that you were able to watch the episode of Summer House. I too watched it. There will be a TV recap at the end of today's episode. Yeah. Very good episode. And I'd like to see Lexi on Watch What Happens Live shaking that thing. She's very well spoken. She's like she's kind of made for this life.
Yeah, she is. And I also like when we announced that she was going to be on the show because it like came out. Who she is not at all what I expected.
Me neither.
Like she's so bubbly, she's so friendly, she's so sweet. Like a girl with a face like that could be like a cold-hearted bitch. And
Andy was asking like leading questions about some of the other girls, and she was not taking the bait.
No, she was like respectful towards all the girls who talked shit about her in the entire episode.
Yeah.
And it's just you don't expect that from someone with her face. Like her face is insane.
Yeah, no, her face card, as the kids say, never declines.
Her face card, and insane in a good like. She is like the most beautiful girl.
Very beautiful. Very angular.
Yeah. And I really like her. And I want great things for her. I have a lot of thoughts on her and Jesse. Jesse is like someone who's really conflicting me as a person because when he was
like him and his Shabbat.
Claudia, I'm like calling Margot saying, get this boy to our Shabbat table.
No, of course. And it's like, of course, the episode where he's like highlighting his amazing faith and his beautiful Shabbat dinner. He's like also acting like an animal. Like, why?
Yeah.
No, it was disappointing and it was conflicting as well.
Yeah, and then also like he is very Jewish actually, and he like knows all the melodies, and he did Shabbat every week with his family. So like it's hard to see him with Lexi, who's not Jewish, even though they're clearly no longer together. So like I would like to see him with a Jewess, but like no woman deserves what he's about to put any girl through because he's not ready for a relationship.
And as the number one Carl Radke hater on the universe, last night's episode was hard for me because I actually had a lot of sympathy for him. And then he ended up being right in the Lindsay Hubbard thing. So I was having a hard time watching, but it's okay.
I felt bad that everyone was making fun of Lil's lemon.
I agree also, by the way. I thought that was really rude.
Yeah.
Okay, by the way, we'll save it for the recap.
Okay, but like justice for Lil's lemon.
Agreed. Do you think she should have a podcast on Lemonada?
Yes.
Yeah, but she could tell her side of the story.
She would have a podcast on Lemonada. Like, regardless of the lemon.
Right.
She's very Lemonada.
Yes, coded.
Yeah, she's the elk of Lemonada.
Correct.
What the kids say coded, I say elk of.
Yes. Would you say you have any big special plans today to celebrate National Sibling Day or just Thursdays in general?
It's a great question. I don't have any big special plans, but I think every day being your sister is a special day.
I would agree with that. Every day being my sister is a special day. I do wonder what it's like to be my sister.
You would hate it.
Yeah, no, I would hate it because
you're still you. Yeah.
But I do often think like either being my friend or like my family, like being somebody who spends time with me is probably amazing, but also horrible. Like good luck going through anything in your life because we're never going to talk about it.
We really like it. But you would hate it.
Yeah, of course. I just feel like I always wish there was somebody around to like be so funny and like entertain me.
You don't though.
Meanwhile, I'm over here dancing for my supper.
But if there was someone who came into our group who was like so funny, so entertaining, like sort of like, the center of gravity for the group. And I'm not saying that in any way to put anyone else down, but that's like what you are. You would hate it.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
No.
No.
But maybe it would be nice to have like a sub that I could tap in, when I need a break.
But you don't want to, like, I know you.
No, even stars get lonely, Jackie.
That's why you have your siblings.
So true.
And that's why we celebrate on National Sibling Day.
Correct.
So happy National Sibling Day to all who celebrate.
Yes, don't forget to text your sibling today. Tell them how ugly you think they are. That's a very sibling-like thing to do.
It is, but it's not nice.
No, it's not. But I think you're obviously like so beautiful.
Why, thank you. I think my face.
I do think you're beautiful.
Thank you. I think I did a good job on my hair and makeup today. On the show, I look nicer when I put my hair up, I've realized. It gives me a little snatch.
That's just never been the case for me.
It's so crazy. It's like I do my hair, I do the whole blowout. The nicer my hair looks in person, the worse it looks on the show because of the headphones.
That's so interesting. Mm-hmm.
And
I wish that was the case for me. I love throwing my hair up, like out of my face. Doing a blowout every day is like a job.
I seriously need to stop blowing out my hair because I hate how I look on the days where I do a flush blowout.
Flush blowout?
Yeah, I was just waiting. Like I didn't even want to continue.
I like how you said flesh blowout, pause.
Like because it's hurtful when I continue talking and then you cut like
it is.
So I'm like, I'm gonna protect myself. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a good. I like that. That's good.
Yeah,
it's annoying. Like you've moved on with the sentence, but like I'm still here at the restaurant making fun of the flesh.
And it's like as much as you do cut me off, like it doesn't like in the regular sense it doesn't bother me, but in like that sense,
it's like halting the whole conversation. Whereas like when we are going back and forth, like we're adding color to each other's stories.
That's how we talk.
Correct.
But it is unnatural.
It was really nice to see people sharing their favorite toast memories yesterday in when they sounded off in the comments in celebration of 2 back-to-back big holidays, 7-year Toastiversary and National Sibling Day. So should we go through some of the top submissions for what people's favorite moments in Toast history was?
One or two that were unexpected that I had forgotten about that genuinely made me laugh. Now the rest
same squeegee girls. Squeegee girl with both sides.
Oh, I joined an encampment and I don't know how to get out. I love that.
Yep.
A lot of them are very, not overhyped, but like appropriately
They've been said before.
But I've moved on. Oh, Game Tunes Day. That's like
yeah. No, but we know the classics. There is no 5K. Like there are ones that we know are in the Hall of Fame, but hearing people bring up random moments that I legit had forgotten about. Dachshund,
yes.
That was a good one. Oh, Demi Lovato performing Heart Attack at the Heart Attack Survivor event.
Ugh, I miss stories like that.
Me too. When the speaker died, of course.
When I read Cody Simpson as Entertainer of the Year and you were surprised at the nominees. And I said, who are you looking for? Like, that was funny. Guessing the lyrics to Taylor Swift's Tortured Poets songs.
Oh, I love guessing lyrics. That's my favorite thing. The Carlos Santana Dear Toasters.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorites.
My retelling of Cat in the Hat, which we read it last night before bed. And I just love that book because it's so good. But it also made me a star. Like, I will never have anything bad to say about that book.
And then, of course, thank you. Someone just reminded me, the Hasty Flush. That's truly one of our best moments.
I know.
The thing is, it was an audio-only episode. So there's no video component. Like, some of these clips, like, There Is No 5K was a clip that went so viral that like we have the moment visually. That's why people love it so much and always bring it up. But the Hasty Flush was, I think, like an audio only, maybe even Patreon thing.
It was audio only because we came back from Connecticut and then we had to quarantine for 14 days.
Right.
Because we drove through Connecticut when we went to Newport.
Yeah, and that's where I lost the keys to
Newport is in Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, yeah.
But it was because of our drive through Connecticut. That was a 14-day quarantine. That was the rules of Connecticut.
What?
Like every state had different
No, by the way, that's not like what we were following the law to the letter of the law. Like,
yeah, because
that is not why we quarantined.
If people knew that we drove through Connecticut and then if they saw that we left our house before 14 days, they would have called the police.
They would have called the police, but that's not why we did it. I just remember on our way back from the Extreme Hasty Flush, I also wasn't feeling good.
Oh yeah, we did also get sick with not COVID, but we couldn't even. We were like
we didn't want to say it. So
on the show.
It was just an audio only episode.
It was a hard time, you guys.
Yeah, you had to like hide your cough.
It was a very hard time, and then also Peppa Pig, Mommy Pig and Daddy Pig having another baby.
I don't even know what that is.
That they still get down. Mommy Pig throwing it in a circle. That's literally from like 3 weeks ago, Claudia.
And that's like a Hall of Fame moment. I don't even remember it.
Claudia, no. A few weeks ago, I announced, like, Peppa
the pig. Yes, of course.
There's Peppa Pig and then George. And
no, I remember the story.
And we had just said that it was so funny.
Yeah.
You said you didn't know Mommy Pig still gets down like that.
She throws that ass in a circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't know that was like a Hall of Fame moment.
Oh, I thought it's really funny.
I'm so glad it resonated with the community.
Trend I'm noticing people like when we talk about kids stuff.
Oh, I didn't notice that trend. No, guys, did you notice that? No.
I guess we'll just have to wait until like you care about it, and then it's all we'll talk about, right?
No. I feel like where do we have this conversation when you were asking me like what type of mom content creator do I want to be? And I said like an inspo of mine is J.C. Marie Smith, right? Like she like really maintained a sense of self while also obviously like sharing her whole journey. And I'd really like to emulate that.
I wonder what she talks about on her podcast though.
That's true. I really only follow her on TikTok.
Yeah, I follow her on the gram. Does anyone make a pargier piece of content than J.C. Marie?
No.
Nobody has that J.C. Marie eye. Except for
Chasing
Kendall
Marie.
Jenner.
How are the stories today?
They are so fucking weird.
Oh, good.
And it's been a weird week of stories. Like, I want to just do a PSA for any celebrities. Like, if you want to make news, now is the time.
Now's the time.
There's really not a lot going on. It's really crazy. I don't know why. It's just a random weekend in April. Maybe everyone's getting ready for the hog. But, like, there is nothing going on. So I have, like, 5, like, interesting random stories. But I don't know why it's such, like, a quiet week. I don't mind it. But they're, like, really.
Yeah, it's, like, all, like, fallout stories from White Lotus.
Yeah, and I do have one because it's a little bit interesting, but it's just like, what's even the lead story on page 6 right now? Like, oh, sad news. But
What?
just, a lot of people making Instagram comments, like making news. It's like,
I know you hate Instagram comments.
Yeah.
Well, let's dive in then, shall we?
Yes. Without further ado, here are the fast 5 stories that you do need to know.
And the fast 5 stories that you need to know are brought to you by Smart Mouth, the only mouthwash scientifically proven to eliminate and prevent bad breath for 24 hours with just 2 rinses a day. Smart Mouth was developed by a dentist. Dr. Cohen was a leading expert on bad breath, and he spent years researching its causes, which led to the development of Smart Mouth and their patented zinc ion technology. He quite literally wrote the book on bad breath as the author of the halitosis section in the medical edition of the Encyclopedia Britannica. So, I mean, this man sounds like my dream man, right? Like, he wakes up every day and tries to combat bad breath. Like, I am somebody who, I'm so sensitive to people's breath, myself included. I'm also like really like self-aware. I never want to have bad breath. And I happen to be married to somebody who's just like always eating like crazy things. And he has crazy breath. And I smell it, in the middle of the night. I smell it really at all times. So Smart Mouth has been an amazing brand for us because a lot of the solutions out there to bad breath are really like perfumes. They're masking. They're not really targeting the root cause. But no, Smart Mouth is backed by science. It prevents bad breath 12 times longer than the leading brand. Its unique dual chamber bottle keeps the 2 powerful solutions separate until you're ready to rinse. So when you pour the 2 solutions into a cup, you'll then activate the Smart Zinc technology. And that zinc ion activation is the key to eliminating and preventing sulfur gas, which is a scientific term for bad breath. And it's the secret to all-day fresh breath. So never have bad breath again. Find Smart Mouth at Walgreens, Walmart, and Amazon, or visit smartmouth.com/toast to snag a special discount on your next Smart Mouth purchase. That's SmartMouth.com/toast. Don't miss out on 24-hour fresh breath. Your mouth will thank you. I couldn't help but wonder, is Dr. Cohen single? A doctor who sounds Jewish and who's committed his life to battling bad breath? Dream man. Today's episode is also brought to you by Quince. Vacation season is nearly upon us, and this year we're treating ourselves to the luxury upgrades that we deserve with Quince's high-quality travel essentials, but at fair prices. So Quince offers everything that you could possibly need for like a staple wardrobe, for a vacation like packing list. So they have lightweight European linen styles from $30. They offer washable silk tops. They have comfy lounge sets, which are great for travel days. They also offer premium luggage options and stylish tote bags to carry it all. Because when did suitcases become $1,000? Like, it's insane. But, you get what you pay for when it comes to suitcases. So you want really high quality ones. Quince's are great. And the thing about Quince is like everything they make is really high quality. The materials, the fabrics, the finishes are really nice. And they are comparable to like high-end designer brands, but their pricing is so much better. So all of the Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. And they do that because they partner directly with top factories, and then they cut out the cost of the middleman and pass the savings on to the customer. So you're getting good stuff. It's made well. It's not going to start like breaking down on the airport conveyor belt. And Quince also works with factories that only use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics. So for your next trip, treat yourself to the luxe upgrades that you deserve from Quince and go to quince.com/toast for 365-day returns. Plus free shipping on your order. That's QUINCE.com/toast to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/toast. Today's episode is also brought to you by Row Body. Do you want the fastest working GLP-1 for half the list price? Well, Row has got you. If you're ready to lose an average of 15% of your weight faster, then meet the latest offering through Row. Row now offers FDA-approved weight loss vials for half the list price of the auto-injector pens, without applying insurance or saving cards, and with results that you can see faster. If you're prescribed, you'll lose 15% of your weight on average in a year. This formula from Eli Lilly hits not 1, but 2 hormones to curb hunger with less nausea. Your Ro affiliated provider can help you understand if GLP-1s are right for you and your goals, but that's just the beginning. Ro members have support throughout the process. Plus, you can sign up online from the comfort of your own home, which means no waiting for an in-person doctor's appointment, no commute to the doctor's office, and no waiting rooms. So it's faster weight loss, it's higher confidence, and it's all at a cheaper price. Join the over 385,000 people who have already chosen Ro to access GLP-1s. I'm one of the people who have chosen GLP-1s. It changed my life. I cannot recommend it enough. It can be a very daunting task if you're at the beginning and you don't know where to start, who to talk to, and Ro is just so easy, done from your home. It's really designed to be convenient. So go to ro.co/toast to see if you qualify. That's ro.co/toast, and you'll find out if you qualify. Also, go to ro.co/safety for boxed warning and full safety information about GLP-1 medications. That's ro.co/safety, and then ro.co/toast to see if you qualify today.
Thank you, turd.co.
You're welcome.
Our first story, major news. Jennifer Lopez will be hosting the 2025 American Music Awards.
What?
Yeah, 10 years after her. She hosted it in 2015 as well, so that helps. But
no, I think it was probably still sad in 2015.
On Wednesday, it was announced that J-Lo would be hosting the 2025 AMAs 10 years after she hosted the show. The CEO of Dick Clark Productions said, "We are thrilled to welcome Jennifer back to host the American Music Awards. Her incredible talent and incomparable stage presence make her the ideal host of the show. We know she will bring her one-of-a-kind energy to the official kickoff celebration of summer." I didn't realize that's what the AMAs were.
It's not. That's why you didn't realize, because it's not. This is the weirdest thing ever. One, like, people of Jennifer Lopez's ilk don't host award shows. And if they do, it would be like the Grammys. The American Music Awards, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Are like one of those People's Choice Award, Billboard Music Awards. Like, they're like these just sort of generic events that people show up to if they're in town. Like, they're kind of meaningless. I find this so confusing and strange.
Same. And I will say, like, Kelly Clarkson hosts stuff like this, and it's not
She's
weird.
a host.
And she is the ilk of Jennifer, but, like, she does a lot of things, and, you know, it's probably part of her deal with NBC. Like, and everyone wants her to do everything. She's an amazing host. Like, they probably pay her so much, they want her so badly.
But she's also very all-American, right? Like, she's not at the Met Gala. Like, she's so, regular.
No,
that's why people love her.
Saying, but, like,
yes.
Kelly is...
No, it's a good comparison.
She is the elf of J-Lo, but this is different, and this is sad. And maybe she should have saved her money better, because it's just giving, like, broke.
Well, no, I'm glad you brought up money, and I'm glad you brought up Kelly Clarkson, because that's the difference, right? Like, they both became huge pop stars with, like, huge discography of music. And I feel like J-Lo went the very, like, elite Met Gala, Oscar movies, like, not the less commercial route. Whereas, like, Kelly does the all-American events, the Rockin' Christmas Tree, the daytime talk show. And she probably is financially set for life. Like, Kelly could stop working today and she would be completely fine, while also maintaining music like J-Lo does too. So, yeah, when that didn't pan out for J-Lo, like with the Oscars and stuff, like, she has to make money.
I think J-Lo has made a ton of money. I think she spends a ton of money too.
She has crazy bags, and she's always on a private jet.
Yeah, and she's just always, I think flattering, I use this word flatteringly, like, she is a diva. She has high expenses. Kelly does not, and she also still makes a lot of money. But, like, I think if J-Lo wants to continue living at the level that she lives at, she will have to pick up.
But is this a high-paying gig?
That's what I was going to say. Like, no, but maybe it's the sort of thing that gets you
get
back
other
into
opportunities.
The lexicon, and then you're in with Dick Clark, and maybe we'll give you a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and maybe people like you, and then they'll buy the concert tickets. Like, it's a good thing to do.
For sure. But I don't think outright, like, you finish the show and you get a check for $1 million.
No, because you don't even
Because when
get
you think
that
about, like,
for the Golden Globes.
Nikki Glaser got $400K, and that's like an actual award show that generates revenue. This is like a joke.
Yeah, but I also imagine the Golden Globes, like, don't have a lot of money. But it's the networks that pay, right?
Yes. I also do imagine that J-Lo will perform, it also becomes, whoever the host is, like, it becomes their bat mitzvah, where they have, like, multiple performances if they want it to be that way. And I could see J-Lo also making this night about her.
Yeah.
Reminding you bitches, like, you didn't buy tickets to my tour and I had to cancel it, and here's what you missed out on.
In 2015, she opened the ceremony with a medley of her biggest songs to a medley of the biggest songs from that year. So that's also a good angle.
That's
like,
very Kelly.
Yeah.
And when Kelly does it, it's not weird. But I feel like when J-Lo does it, we're going to make fun of it. It's very Ariana DeBose, you know?
Yeah. But nothing of that performance was, like, memorable in a negative way.
or in a positive way. I don't remember. There's so many moments from when Kelly did the Billboard Music Awards and she sang everybody's songs in front of them. There were like 1,000 viral moments from it. It comes up, it's 10 years ago, comes up all the time from like on my TikTok. I could sing parts of it where she sang her song. Like it left an impact.
Yeah.
But you can't compare to Kelly.
No, you can't. But that's the only name that comes to mind. So
no, it was a great comparison that you pulled out because like we would never clown on Kelly for accepting that role.
No, but she just does a lot. She accepts a lot of things. I feel like J-Lo is a lot more particular.
Selective,
so it's like
yeah.
surprising to see her do this. Like she was nominated for an Oscar or snubbed for one.
She was snubbed, yeah. But maybe her and Dick Clark like buried a body in the woods somewhere. This is really what it feels like.
No, I think it's part of a comeback. And
yes,
I think she
it's particularly to music.
And I think she needs to come back if she wants to live at the level she lives for the rest of her life.
Yeah. Even though I feel like if I was in charge of J-Lo, like I wouldn't be encouraging her to like, I think she's like trying to do TikTok and like reach new younger listeners with new music. Whereas like when you're at the level that she's at and she has so many hits, like you should be able to live extremely well, like Janet Jackson. Like there's, when I think of like the women her age who had enormous pop star careers, like they're able to retire but still perform. Like you can have a Vegas residency, and she did. Like
I think she should go to Vegas
or like a greatest hits tour, but I feel like she's afraid of branding herself as like that era. Yeah, but it wasn't branded as greatest hits. She had like new music. She had the new album, and it's like, stop.
I think midway through they changed it to a greatest hits branding, hoping to sell more tickets. But I do think she should go to Vegas and do greatest hits. And I think if people are in Vegas, like I'm not even the biggest J-Lo fan, but if I'm going to Vegas to see some shows and like she's available, like I would go see her.
Yeah, of course. I would even dare to say I'm not a J-Lo fan. I'm kind of like a J-Lo hater. I'm always coming for her. And if she came to my town with like a true greatest hits show, I would buy tickets. Like I would 100% go. You forget all the hits. Let's Get Loud.
Waiting for Tonight.
Whoa. And then Selena. Like she could do a cover. She's so being mismanaged. And I actually feel like that's unfair to say because I think a lot of the direction for her career comes straight from her. I think she's not like an ideas person.
Yeah, but I also think...
Oh, by the way, Jackie, she does need the money. Remember, she funded that film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it also has to do with ego. Like you said, she doesn't want to be like a legacy.
Considered.
In her legacy era, she thinks she's still a pop star.
Yeah, and I think that's being in your legacy era is even more fun. Like, I don't know why she wouldn't want to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she definitely, it's ego-driven for sure.
So that will be exciting to see her host the AMAs on
and also,
May 26th.
When you're a host, like, people just make fun of you for everything you do. Like, everything gets jiffed and people are already so hard on J-Lo because she's like in her flop era and like Gen Z doesn't understand her that I just feel like this is actually a really bad idea.
Yeah.
I think she thinks she's going to wow us. And she has wowed us recently and like proven people wrong. Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Like she has the talent. She like refuses to like rest on her talent. You know, it's enough.
Yeah.
For me.
Are you ready for our next story? A little more music news.
Yeah.
Because Ed Sheeran says that his goal is to move to Nashville and make country music. That is the goal of his career. So
Well, do it. Like you could literally do whatever you want. You're the biggest artist in the world.
I don't know. I think he takes country music really seriously. He said that he's like made some country music songs, but he's not put them out. And like that he wants to, he said, I've made country songs in the past. They've just never come out. I have to do it properly. And once you transition to country, you can't transition back. Once you're there, you're there. Interesting.
Well, maybe for like low level individuals, but like Ed Sheeran could do whatever he wants.
I don't know, but like a Post Malone, like he doesn't want to come back.
Maybe because he's having too much fun.
Yeah, I think that's what like Ed is like saying, you know.
Got it.
Anyways, then he also said Nashville is like my favorite city in the States. It's always been like my end goal. I'm going to move to Nashville and transition to country, but I think you just have to do it properly. It's a genre you really have to respect, and it's not just dip in and out. Why, thank you, Ed.
Well, that's true. I feel like people who make music, and I'm not talking about like just any old singer, like people who really write songs, play multiple instruments, they more often than not do gravitate towards country as a genre because it's really a genre that's the most musical, right? In terms of songwriting and instruments, and they play the fiddle and like if you respect the art of like classical music making, you respect country music. Yeah. And I do feel like Ed Sheeran is the former.
Yeah.
So this does make sense, him and his little guitar.
I think he would make beautiful country music. I would love to hear Galway Girl, Nashville edition. He respects the hell out of country music.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to half-ass it. I think that's a really good goal and speaks to a goodness in Ed. Word.
I'm glad you brought this up because I actually had a thought today that I wanted to share, like a truth that I've sort of been holding in.
That you're an Ed Sheeran stan?
No. It actually has nothing to do with Ed Sheeran. It has more so to do with country music.
Okay. You're leaving the genre? You're Maren Mars?
No, I'm not. Did you ever listen to, I'm just going to say it. Like, I was about to like couch it. Like, I'm just going to say it.
Say it's a hard truth?
A hard truth that like, that is my truth. I'm not saying it's a universal truth. But Dolly Parton's version of Please, Please, Please by Sabrina Carpenter is atrocious.
Okay, Claudia, that is the popular take.
Oh.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I thought we didn't criticize Dolly, which I agree with that. Like, we don't.
The first time I heard the song, I didn't think anything of it, and I didn't analyze it that much. And I think I just, like, heard a clip. But then I started seeing, like, people, like, really, like, clipping, like, certain things that she was doing. And people were like, this is really bad.
It is. And I'm sure Sabrina thinks it's bad, too. But she was, like, so excited to have her queen Dolly. Like, you just let Dolly do her thing. And, of course, like, nobody's perfect. We're all going to trip up every now and then. Viola Davis said it best. Like, you have to have a flop era. Like, it's just the nature of being an artist. So I don't clown on Dolly, and I love that she wanted to get involved with a younger genre and younger community, but it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's really bad. It's not that it's not good. It's song ruining.
Yeah. It's really bad. I've seen that before, so you're not alone. That is a popular take. People said, like, she would have been better on Slim Pickens, but, like, her register and the register of the song are just not, it's like Ben's
vibing,
feet,
Yes, they don't see one another. And I really liked the deluxe Short and Sweet album. I can do a lot with 15 minutes. And like, I was excited for Please, Please, Please Dolly's version. Like, it stunk, like literally stinkaroony.
Yeah, I think whether people are saying it or feeling it, I don't know anyone that's like, this was a slay.
Yeah, no, and we just don't want to say negative things about Dolly. Like I get
respect your elders. Yeah, what are you, disgusting?
Yeah, and it's like she just lost her husband. Like, she's a queen. But I felt like this was maybe an appropriate time to share that I didn't like it.
So I don't think it's a negative thing to say about Dolly because I think it was just a mismatch of song. Like, Dolly's voice is Dolly's voice. She sounds like Dolly. It's just the wrong song for her. That's fair.
Dolly also doesn't do help.
Q Labs?
No.
Pop music?
Profanities.
Oh, profane.
And Sabrina's sort of known for that. And so, like, she doesn't say, don't embarrass me, motherfucker. Like, Sabrina, like, I loved the pairing, but there's actually not a lot of Sabrina music that Dolly can cover authentically.
Yeah, but it's like, so say someone has this amazing idea, because we heard the idea, it's amazing. We get them in the studio. We record a song. It's bad. What do you do then? What's the right thing to do?
If you're Sabrina, you put it out.
Right.
If you're Dolly and you can like acknowledge that it's not good, you say, let's scrap it or do something else. And Sabrina just sort of agrees. Like, there's a power dynamic at play.
Yeah. Sabrina
has
to
put it out. It's a good question. It's a good question. Sabrina has to put it out.
It could only
Dolly.
It could only be Dolly.
And Dolly obviously thought it was good.
I don't think Dolly listened to it after she left the studio.
No, me neither. Dolly's also just been like kind of putting her name on like a lot of things recently.
She puts her name on a ton of shit.
Post Malone's collabs, Beyonce's collabs, Sabrina Carpenter's collabs.
She wrote a
her
book
pots
with
and
James
pans.
Patterson.
Yes.
She has a
her
cookbook
pots
with
and
her
pans.
sister. Yes. I saw it at Target.
Well, listen, you don't become like a millionaire like Dolly by not putting your name on shit,
Yeah,
you know?
no shade, but like I don't think she was listening closely after she left the studio.
I agree. She was like, that was fun. Put it out.
Yeah.
I like that.
Sabrina's like, are you sure?
She's a sweet little girl. I like her.
It doesn't make Sabrina look bad. She's Breener.
No. And she got to work with Dolly. Like, who can say that?
I don't think it makes Dolly look bad. It's just like, it was just bad. It was just
a bad song.
I don't blame anyone. We tried.
Agreed.
We have to try.
We tried. It's so important to try things.
Don't let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game.
I believe it was the great Hilary Duff who once said that.
Yeah. So, Ed Sheeran, I've decided I like him.
I have no problem with Ed Sheeran.
I have no problem.
I think that he's very talented. I think he suffers from kind of almost like a Taylor Swift syndrome where his most well-known music is his worst music. Because I have listened to like one or two Ed Sheeran albums in depth, and there are such good songs on there, and like the average person had never heard of them. Whereas like Bad Habits Lead to Late Night, like actually play that song at my funeral because I want to be dead. Like I hate that fucking song.
Yeah.
You know? He's kind of like a victim of like the music pop radio complex.
Yes, he is.
Just my feelings.
Are you ready for our next story? It's a little Mariska news.
What is my girl up to? Her and Peter Herman are fine, right?
They're fine. They're fine. It's about the other interesting fact of Mariska's life, which is that she's Jayne Mansfield's daughter. Which is something that I know, but every time I hear it, I'm learning it for the first time.
And just know, if you ever come to the show with a story on your iPad about Trouble in Paradise with Mariska and Peter, you have to handle me like really.
Kid gloves,
like you have. Yeah.
No, but Mariska is detailing her quest to understand her late mother, Jayne Mansfield, in a new documentary. So she's
such an underrated Nepo baby.
She is. She's making a documentary called My Mom Jayne about her mom, Jayne Mansfield, the 1950s Hollywood star who tragically died in 1967. So nearly 60 years after her untimely death, Jayne's daughter,
Didn't she die in a really crazy way?
What is the way? I don't know a lot about Jayne Mansfield except for that song, Jayne Mansfield's Car. I'm sitting in Jayne Mansfield's car from Mean Girls.
From Mean Girls. Hold on. Let me just, before I like make stuff up.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was in a crash, but she was only 34 when she died.
So that's weird, that lyric then. About the car.
Yeah. Oh, that is really weird.
What is that song? I'm independent. Yeah.
Okay, nothing's coming up in like my Google search, so I'm glad I didn't say it.
It sounds like you need this documentary.
No, yes, okay, yeah, I'm right. It's falsely believed that she died. So they had said, I thought that when her car crash was so brutal that like it actually left her decapitated and like beheaded, and that's sort of like what people say about her. But I guess it's like a false rumor. Like Snopes.com, was Jayne Mansfield decapitated? Oh, yeah.
She died in a traffic collision at 34. That's all this says.
Yeah, right. And she had really interesting names for all of her kids. Because Mariska is obviously like, we now know her, but like, why isn't her name Marissa? You know? Zoltan and Miklos.
Oh, nice. I didn't know Mariska had siblings, but she's now doing an HBO documentary about her mom's life that she both directed and produced. It will be released in June. She said, I feel grateful, fulfilled, and so proud to share this film. I never got to make a movie with my mom, and she never got to make the kind of movie she wanted to make. Hashtag My Mom Jayne, which is the name of the documentary, and now a hashtag, is a place of meeting for us. And words,
now it's a hashtag, yeah.
And words fail like to get press for the movie.
No, I love that. Oh my God. I love that, is what I was trying to say. Wow, that was like really scary.
And words fail me to describe how meaningful it is to tell her story, my own and ours together.
That's beautiful. I actually think this is a good documentary. I too don't know a lot about Jayne Mansfield, other than that she's like a Hollywood it girl from like the Hollywood golden age.
Yeah.
And that she's Mariska's mom.
Yeah.
But she reminds me she's like a Judy Garland, right?
Yeah. So I think this will be great.
Just a fun fact about her.
It's the funnest fact about Mariska that I always forget because it's so
random,
and I learned it late in life. It's not something that I always knew.
And like the timelines for me don't add up because like that golden age Hollywood 60s like is so long ago. I don't know how anyone in this world could be related to someone from that world. Well, especially only one generation.
She died in 1967. Mariska was 3. So Mariska born in 1964. That feels right. And
no, like I get it. It's just like it feels so far to me.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully Peter's been really supportive. I'm sure this has been like an emotional time for Mariska, and I just know Peter's like been the most amazing husband and father.
Maybe Peter will be in the documentary if they're like following Mariska at home, you know, maybe having breakfast with her family.
I would love actually like a small glimpse into their personal life.
Yeah.
Because you know they have a lot of money, like, and you know that they don't live like crazy, right? She lives in New York, definitely, because she films SVU here.
They definitely live in like a brownstone.
Totally. I bet I could find out where they live, but like I feel like I'll end up on some list if I Google that. I'm just curious. I'm just curious. Like that's it.
Yeah. No,
I'm not afraid.
I hope that we do get a glimpse of that while she's like talking about her childhood. Maybe we get like flash forwards of her children's childhood.
Have we ever met Mariska?
No, but we've met Peter, so it feels like we know her.
By osmosis. But I feel like we would have met her like somewhere, like when we were like interns.
Maybe you
like,
have. Like maybe you went to like a Law & Order premiere party.
I've never been invited to a Law & Order premiere party.
They've probably had 50 of them for 50 seasons.
1,000%. They also have like a season wrap party, so it's like 100.
They're just always having parties and not inviting
Totally. No, I haven't.
Put it out there. You should get to go to set like you did for Blue Bloods.
I should get to go to set like I did for Blue Bloods.
You should.
We didn't even talk about. Do you know Blue Bloods got canceled? Like they ended it.
Yeah.
The show was off the air. Oh, we just didn't talk about it.
Yeah. And
I think the fact that we didn't talk about it.
Any
final words? Yeah. I love that show.
Yeah, but all good things come to an end.
Of course. But apparently everyone was really unhappy. Like Tom Selleck was like, I want to still work.
Oh, he wants the show to go on. The show.
Yeah, everyone did. Everyone wanted it. Like there was a lot of strife.
But so what's the issue?
I don't think it was doing as well as it once was. You know? The golden age of Blue Bloods sort of ended.
I understand. It's probably expensive to make too. Everyone has like high salaries at this point.
And it's all like on location in New York.
Yeah.
So back to Mariska. Yes, hopefully we get some at-home scenes with her and Peter. Perhaps some love-making scenes. I'll be tuning in.
Are you ready for our fourth story?
Mm-hmm.
Some like random news. I don't know if this is a good idea. SNL is coming to the UK with an all-British cast. So SNL is franchising across the pond. A British version of SNL was officially announced by UK broadcaster Sky in a press release on Thursday. The London-based series, premiering in 2026, will be executive produced by Lorne Michaels, who will also continue to produce the US one as well as a bunch of like UK production syndicate teams.
Yeah, well, not that he can't do both, but I think in order to be like the Lorne Michaels of SNL, you have to have like a real grasp on the country and the culture. And like, I would think they would need an actual British person to be the Lorne of.
They probably will have another director, but I do think he has to have his hand in at least like the initial casting and the tone and much more like of a higher up position, not like day to day on the ground. But I think in order to get it off the ground in a way that feels akin to US SNL, like he needs to be involved.
Yeah, I actually don't hate this idea at all. I would have thought that there was like a SNL equivalent in the UK.
Yeah, I feel like every country has like an FNL.
Yes, Israel's is really popular. Yeah. They have like an Israeli like Saturday night sketch show, sketch comedy, if you will.
But this is like official SNL franchise as opposed to just being like the country sketch comedy show.
I think it's a great idea, actually. I think there's a lot of crossover, like when you think of how The Office is like the biggest show ever in the UK and then also in the US. Like, I think there's a lot of like comedy overlap between the two, and I think it's a good idea.
Do you think
they
British
have
people
a lot
are
of
funny?
political? Yeah. No?
Yeah.
Do you not?
No.
I don't think they're unfunny. Like when I think of like groups of people who are not funny, the British don't come to mind.
But yeah. No, I agree. Are there any British comedians that we know?
Ricky Gervais.
That's true. Maybe.
Oh, that guy everybody loves. I do like him too. James something or other. He has like a million Netflix specials. Yeah, there are a bunch. I actually think this is a good idea.
I'm looking at British comedians. Ricky Gervais comes to mind. This guy always, his name always comes up. What did he do?
Who?
Jack Whitehall.
That's what I was just, that's what I was referring to.
Oh.
He has a bunch of comedy specials.
Okay, so there's literally two people. But no, I do think that the British are funny and that they can be funny. Oh,
Jimmy
Sacha Baron Cohen. Very funny.
Well, I guess he is like a comedian, but he's more like a comedy actor.
He's like a bit of everything.
No, I think this is good. I like that. And then we'll get like musical performances. Maybe Little Mix will reunite.
Well, I think this will be great for the British music scene, of which I'm a big fan. And maybe we could be seeing new artists and discovering new talent. That would be amazing.
And now, who do you get to host like the first ever? We've been, for as long as we've been alive, SNL has been around. Who hosted the first episode of SNL? Like, who was going to host the first British episode?
Harry Styles.
I thought you were going to say Harry Windsor. And I'm like, oh, that's actually funny.
Harry Windsor, Mountbatten.
No, I feel like maybe Harry Styles could be the musical performer.
Well, he would do both.
I feel like they need like a real comedian. Honestly, like give it Ricky Gervais. Like I know he's my answer for everything, but Ricky Gervais.
Jack Whitehall. I think
sure.
Jack Whitehall. Or
sure. Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah. It'll be
I like that.
Cool. Yeah, we'll see how they do.
You would love it.
You would love it. Are you ready for our fifth and final story?
If it's our fifth and final story, that's brought to you by YSL Love Shine Plumping Lip Oil Gloss. So if you're looking for a new go-to lip gloss, look no further. YSL Beauty has just come out with their new YSL Love Shine Plumping Lip Oil Gloss. It's an oil-infused plumping lip gloss that provides juicy, glossy shine and plumper, fuller-looking lips with an ultra-hydrating feel. It's infused with spicy ginger oil and hyaluronic acid. This non-sticky formula leaves lips feeling softer, smoother, and instantly plumped. Its jumbo plush wand provides a soft, cushiony feel. I feel like everybody's looking for like the lip oil lip gloss of the moment, but they're all so sticky, like your hair gets stuck in it. It's actually the most annoying thing, and that's what I love most about the YSL formula. It's oil infused. So it's going to give you like the look of a plumper looking lips and has good ingredients, spicy ginger oil, hyaluronic acid. So it's really comfortable. It has that soft plumping effect and it's available in 9 dreamy shades. The wand itself too is like big. It's pillowy. So it's going to cover your entire lip and it's going to really like seamlessly apply the product. If you're always on the go, you need something in your purse. It's just going to make you look fab. I highly recommend the YSL Love Shine Plumping Lip Oil Gloss. Also, the packaging is really pargy, so you're going to pull it out and people are going to be like, oh, YSL, okay. It's going to give you respect, which we appreciate. And you can shop all 9 dreamy shades of YSL Love Shine Plumping Lip Oil Gloss now at Sephora. It's a great time to be shopping at Sephora, and there are 9 dreamy shades, and the product, again, is called the YSL Love Shine Plumping Lip Oil Gloss. Today's episode is also brought to you by Wayfair. It's home project season, especially for me, and Wayfair is the best kept secret for all things renovation. So I'm currently renovating, let's call it my second bedroom, taking things out, putting things in, and Wayfair's just the best when it comes to anything home. So whether you're shopping by room, shopping by budget, shopping by style, Wayfair's website is literally going to be able to find you exactly what you need. You can even filter on their website by size. Like I was looking for curtains and I needed this exact length of curtain and you could actually put that in. And there was like literally 3 results for what I needed and I found what I needed. So there's something for every style and every home, no matter your space or your budget. Wayfair makes it easy to tackle your spring home goals with endless inspiration for every space and every budget. So whether you're doing a light refresh, an organizational overhaul, or like a full room reno like Jackie did for her guest room, pretty much everything that she made for me in that guest room was from Wayfair. Mm-hmm. It's also the best delivery in the game. Furniture delivery can be traumatizing, but they have free and easy delivery, even on the big stuff, and they'll even help you set it up. Find all your home improvement must-haves, from flooring to light fixtures to faucets to hardware, all in one convenient place. I love shopping at Wayfair. I have the Wayfair app too. Highly recommend. It's just like fun to scroll, and you could save stuff, and then when you're ready to mood board, like it's fun. Shop the best selection of home improvement online. Get renovating with Wayfair. Head to wayfair.com right now. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair. Every style, every home.
Thank you, Claudia. Our 5th and final story, a little aforementioned White Lotus fallout drama. White Lotus co-stars Walton, Goggins, and Aimee Wood are sparking feud rumors after the finale. So Walton and Aimee play
Rick and Chelsea.
And they have sparked feud rumors with some Instagram behavior. Several eagle-eyed fans began theorizing that there was trouble in paradise when they noticed that the actors aren't following each other on Instagram anymore. Additionally, they believe that he may have blocked Aimee because her comments on previous posts have disappeared from his page, while his still appear on hers.
And then his like crazy Instagram stories, medley pictures of them. It was like 14 minutes long.
So yeah, they keep posting like tributes to Rick and Chelsea, and they're not tagging each other.
And like he very intentionally posted the entire montage to Silver Springs by Fleetwood Mac, which is like a particularly devastating song. Like, you'll never get away from the sound of a woman that loves you. Very telling, Was it just a fool? So people thought that was also an Easter egg as well. There's definitely something weird going on.
Well, I feel like that's him like playing into Rick and Chelsea's love story. And I do think that like this is the biggest moment of both of their careers. People love Rick and Chelsea. Yeah. Like no matter what's going on between them, like they're going to milk it on their social media. Walton is like very social media literate for a 53-year-old man.
Correct.
And he is like so many dumps from White Lotus. Like he literally posts like a Gen Zer on a trip to Thailand. Like, he's not going to miss the social media moment. Who would? No, it's good for their careers. And like everyone keeps like, sharing pictures of Rick and Chelsea. They have all these behind the scenes pictures. Like they're literally acting like a couple that like just took a trip to Thailand and then passed away. Like,
yeah.
So there's definitely weirdness. Now, where do you think the weirdness stems from?
I don't know, because as far as I know, he's in a relationship.
Oh, he is?
And then also a lot of people are reading into 2 other things. So this video, Walter wasn't at the premiere, and then all the cast is together.
I know, it's like hard.
I like Walter better. Walter wasn't at the premiere, and there's this video, the whole cast is like together except for Aimee, and then she comes over and everybody's like so happy to see her, and the actor who plays Greg just gives her like kind of like a devastating hug. Like, like it's just so Like, let me, like, lean on me. Like, it's so, maybe we're all looking too much into it, but it's kind of this, like, soul-crushing hug, you know? Like, oh.
Okay. The way that I hear that, like, what I interpret it as, like, these people take the show way too seriously. And I actually feel like he thinks he's hugging, like, a dead girl. Like,
okay.
Like, because her story ended in tragedy and, like, he's hugging Chelsea.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I want to stop talking about what we're talking about. I don't care anymore. And we need to talk about like how not okay people are that talk about the White Lotus. I saw officially today, this morning, I'm so glad you just reminded me, the absolute craziest take.
Okay.
For me, this is what somebody wrote. It was a TikTok. What was the most devastating part of White Lotus for me? As a Ukrainian, seeing 3 Russians get away with a crime. I'm like, oh, wow, okay. You're taking my ability to make anything about myself and like you've taken it to new levels. Like the discourse around White Lotus is really starting to piss me off. It's what I say all the time. I've actually seen this thought regurgitated. I said it first, and I said it with the bear. People are, I need to say this right. Okay, there is like a trend now where if you criticize something thoughtfully or you just say you don't like it, people who do like it say that you don't get it. Mm-hmm. And it is actually quite possible to get something and still not like it. That's happened to me with the bear. That happens to people with White Lotus because now it's like, well, you didn't like the White Lotus? Like, you don't get it. Mike White's a genius. Well, yes, Mike White is a genius, and I do get it. I didn't enjoy it. By the way, I'm not saying that me. I actually did enjoy it. But, like, I hate this level of – it's such a – I think people think they come off intellectual when they say, but you actually sound stupid. So explain it to me. Why is it good? Explain it instead of saying you don't get it.
When everyone who says you don't get it, like no one offers an explanation. But you just don't get it.
Right. So what am I not getting? Explain it. Smarty pants. Come here.
Yeah, it's very
smart. It's
a condescending thing to say. It makes them feel smart. They understand something that you don't.
But it's also just like such a flawed, like this is all art, right? Art is subjective. You're supposed to like stuff. You're supposed to not like stuff. So just to say like, no, it's good. You just didn't get it. I hate when people fucking say that.
Yeah, that's definitely one issue with the White Lotus. And I think that the fans of White Lotus do get carried away and they need to be held accountable for that. But I'd like to hold the cast accountable for what they're doing too. Like actually thinking that they are these people and like they posting like as if they're on vacation, like with, and it's fun. And I think it's really good for like the show and all these behind the scenes pictures. But like, I get sad for when the show's over.
No, and by the way, a couple of interviews of Jason Isaacs have come across my desk where he keeps like alluding to like some sort of drama. He keeps just saying how like, you know, all these people lived together in a foreign country for 6 months. It was kind of like theater camp, he said. And, you know, that's going to come with its share of challenges and drama. And nobody is like pushing him and asking follow-up questions as to what exactly he's referring to. But he does keep alluding to something.
Well, yeah, I saw a headline today, and now I'll investigate it, that he called White Lotus an open prison camp.
Open air prison. Yes,
he said open prison camp. You couldn't avoid one another. There are tensions and difficulties. I don't know if they spilled from on-screen to off-screen or if it would have happened anyway. There were alliances that formed and broke, romances that formed and broke. Rick and Chelsea. Friendships that formed and broke. It's a long period of time for people to be away from their family with an open bar, and all the wildness being in Thailand allows.
Yes, so he's like kind of being open with us, and nary a person is asking follow-up questions. Like, hey, Jason, can you clarify what you meant here? Who are you referring to?
Wow. But yeah, that does speak to like, I think that one might explain a little bit of Rick and Chelsea drama, whether it was like a friendship that went south. But I think also them really, when you're remote and you're this person and everyone's in character and like method acting, I think lines get blurred.
And it's easy to get carried away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got to snap back to reality.
Agreed. Let's dive into Summer House, speaking of reality. Last night's episode, Lexi has returned from her weekend away. She is like trying to work things out with Jesse. So this is where I'm bothered the most. Everything Jesse says to Lexi and then says to everyone else, like, couldn't be more different. And the way that he makes these great advances with Lexi, like introducing him to her parents, and then will go tell Wes and his friends being like, Like, she forced me. Like, that's not how you can't force someone to do that. So, like, either own it or just break up with her. It's really pissing me off, like, how duplicitous he's being. And I'm sure she doesn't know it at the time, and I'm sure she finds out, but also now watching it back is, like, so hurtful. He's really trying to make her look crazy. And I just want to say, she has not asked him to stop doing one thing that I thought was unreasonable for a girl to ask her boyfriend to stop doing.
I agree.
He acts so inappropriate. Like, everything he does is inappropriate. Everything
he does is inappropriate, which is why he's a lost cause in this relationship. There's nothing that she could say, no behavior she could exhibit, be chill enough that will make this relationship work, because he's
And she's never claimed to be chill. She's actually been very upfront. Like, hi, I'm a really kind of like possessive, jealous person.
No, but it's not even like, oh, if she did it this way or she did it that way, that this relationship could work. It won't work because he's not ready and he doesn't respect her enough to stop doing all of these things. And I don't even think it will take a girl to change him. Like, something has to change within himself, or it just doesn't, you know. And this is just who he is, and he can just
that's
be
fine.
This playboy for his life. But yeah, I don't think anything she's said or done is crazy. He met her family, so when his family's in town, like, she should meet them. She loves him. They're together all the time. She like really, really likes him.
Yes, it's fast, but it's not weird.
Yeah, especially when your families don't live in the place where you live. And if they happen to be coming to town, they might not come again for 6 months. And like, we are dating. Like, yeah, maybe you should meet them just to like know who I'm seeing. I think it's a nice thing, but of course he wasn't ready for that. It does lead her on, like Wes said. Like, Wes was like, I introduced Sierra to my family because like, yeah, that's fun. I like you. I like them. Let's all have fun.
Right, yes. That was a really good comparison.
He didn't realize what it would mean to her, you know?
The implications, yeah.
So you have to be careful with stuff like that, especially when you know in your heart you're not serious about someone.
I had forgotten that he like took her home, and it like meant so much. And I feel like Lexi's a really nice girl. I think also she's a lot younger than everybody, and there's like a pre-established dynamic. They're all friends already. They're all like successful reality stars. She's new here. So when she comes back and she like wants to, they're all talking outside about like the Sierra thing. She's like so circling the drain, and she's not even, she's trying really not to be like accusatory, even though like she has every right to be upset with Sierra and like say something. And the conversation like sort of goes nowhere and falls flat. And like I actually felt really awkward because she had to bring it up, but she wasn't going to bring it up in a way that was like, Sierra, like, I'm mad at you, but can I get some clarification? And I actually like that Paige is the first one who's like, I've never seen Sierra and Jesse as brother, sister. Like, they've always had this like weird flirty relationship. So like, we need to stop saying that.
Yeah. Also, when people say that about boy-girl friendships, it bothers me because you're not brother, sister. And like, you could have sex and we're not going to call it incest. So like, that's not a thing, but it is a really convenient excuse for like guys being close with girls and guys when like you feel like they shouldn't be friends. You say we're brother, sister, but like you are not. Like, you don't share DNA. You could happily run off into the sunset.
And then Wes bringing up like the parallels between him and Sierra, like it made me even more upset for Lexi, being like, you know what that's like, Sierra. That happened to you last year, and like you were so hurt by it and so upset by it, and you had every right to be. So now you see a girl going through exactly what you're going through, and you're not only not helping, you're kind of hurting the situation. Now everyone's responsible for their own actions. Like, Jesse is the worst. I cannot stress that enough. I just have really low expectations for Jesse, and I have really high expectations for Sierra. I feel like she's such a girl's girl. She's like so she like hates, like she loves to like clown on toxic men. And so I just would have expected different behavior from her. I have high standards for her, and I definitely hold them to different standards, which is wrong.
Yeah, and no one's really telling Lexi the truth.
What happened?
Like, what happened, whether they think it was inappropriate. And then I also feel like when they were saying how Jesse and Lexi have already had an argument already made up, and it's only been a month, and like, why is that even a thing at a month? It's like, and they're saying that to Jesse, like, that's crazy that you're already like fighting.
Making it seem like they're fighting because of Lexi.
But it's because of what you did. Like, does anyone want to say to Jesse, like, you are the reason why your relationship is off to a rough start? Like, this girl is all in on you. What I think she's asking for, stop following. She's not even saying unfollow all girls. She's saying stop following new ones. Like, that isn't crazy.
No, I'm so team Lexi. And like, I think that it's nice to see somebody like have really high standards and like all out, like right out of the gate being like, here are my boundaries. Here is what I require from a boyfriend. I think it's nice to see, in the fact that like it's being made seem like she's so unreasonable. I don't think so at all. I think like we should be empowering young women to have really high standards and real boundaries.
And when they said she was so young, and then they said she's 26, I don't think 26 is that young.
Me neither. Like, I thought she was 21. The way that everybody was talking about her.
23. That's still like nothing serious. But like, I feel like I moved at a pretty average pace in life. I met like Zach like not even that young, and I got married at 26, and I didn't feel like I was super early for that at all. So like her being 26,
she's not that young.
Like, she's not that young. I think when you're 26, like you have your head pretty much screwed on straight. Maybe you're not the level of maturity you'll be at like 30 and 35, but you don't reach those levels of maturity also until you do certain things, and that like forces you to become more mature. So I didn't think that was a super strong argument. I think at 26, like you're ready to settle down. And she is. And I like how open she is about how she feels. And on the one hand, like she should have played it a little differently, right? She shouldn't have like given in to him the first week, and like she should have made him work harder for it. I don't think would have changed their outcome, which I don't think they're together because he's not ready for a relationship. But like in hindsight, like you could say that. That's why, you know, she should have like dangled the carrot a little bit more. But one, like that's what Sierra did with West, and it ended the same way.
Didn't work.
And two, I really like that Lexi's like, I'm not going to play games. If I like someone, I'm going to tell them, and I'm not going to regret falling in love really fast because that's how I am. And it makes me not worried about her.
No, I'm not worried about her either, especially seeing her on Watch Robin's Live. Like, she's fine. She's healed. She's moved on.
Yeah.
Now, I want to talk about something that I feel like you and I have been waiting so long for, and we got a window into last night because I was shocked to see Lindsay driving out to the Hamptons with Paige, and then Paige just sort of talking to camera about like the journey she's been on with Lindsay and how she finally like now can understand Lindsay and really like likes her for who she is. And I'm so glad these two have laid down their arms. I think Lindsay's pretty much laid down her arms with everybody except for Carl. And everybody's really appreciating Lindsay in this phase that she's in, which is nice because I feel like I've liked Lindsay for a while. And I loved to see them getting together. It was a tough watch at Shabbat dinner to see like Lindsay bringing up like her big moment, and she was brutally rebuffed. And we knew last week because Lil posted on Instagram screenshots. So I've known that like this hill she's about to die on is like not worth it. So it was kind of like watching a car crash in slow motion.
Yes, but you know what? On that one, I'm going to give her a pregnancy pass.
By the way, I don't even need to give her a pregnancy pass. I'm just giving her a pass because I like her.
I'm just giving her a pass that I like her, but like I do think she's allotted like a couple pregnancy passes. Like she said in the car with Paige, she's so hormonal. If you're on the end, like the receiving end of her rage, watch out. So pregnancy pass for that, and I'm not gonna clown on her. And it was actually like a really funny exchange.
Hysterical.
And you know what? She gave Carl a nice moment. Like he looked good.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, to his credit, he could have been a way bigger dick and been like, told ya. They had to, drag him to get his phone. I would have thought that there was something bad on his phone with how slow he was walking and then he fell down the stairs. So yes, I agree. She actually gave him a moment to look like a real gentleman, and he did. And then when he was explaining that like this particular anniversary of his brother's death was difficult because he also was like celebrating it for the first time without Lindsay as like a friend or
a support system,
a partner. And she was kind of the only one who knew why he was upset that morning because the date obviously like resonated with her. I actually felt really sad for him. Because like grief is really hard, but then also like to lose a system of support.
Yeah,
that's
and
also
to really
really sad.
Be like alone and not have the distractions, not have someone who's there, whose sole job is to cheer you up that day. I felt warm towards him, and I feel like even on that day, Lindsay could have like maybe she did say something to him, could have said something like, "I hate you, but I have love for you today." Like you know what I that's the sort of thing where it's like, it doesn't matter. There are things in life where like, it doesn't matter what happened. We can lay down our arms for a moment, and like, we're two human beings, and like, we used to love each other. And no matter what happens between us, like, this is a terrible thing that happened, and I am here for you in this capacity. And I feel like that, she didn't say it, but I feel like that's how she feels.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like she's like laying off of him this weekend.
Well, except
besides for the night before. Also, I think that like Imrul really was like the worst possible person to sit next to Carl in that moment.
When Wes
he had no idea. He just thought they were like balling.
When Wes came out and gave him a hug, I was like, oh yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
Thank you, Lord. No, and like, it's such a tough thing. And Imrul was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, do you want to be alone? Which is a really respectful question. They're just not bros like that, And I feel like Imrul's maybe not the type of guy to like cry, Mm-hmm. I feel like Wes and Jesse would start crying, like,
Yeah.
I actually felt weird. Like I felt bad for Carl, and I felt bad for Imrul. Like they were just the wrong people, wrong time.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, hello.
Oh my God.
You did scare me. Who's that? Mailman. Oh, the mailman. Do you mind just popping it on the table? Or you need me to sign?
Yeah, are you model quality introduction?
No, that's not for me.
That's not you. Okay.
Sorry. Thanks so much. No, you're good.
Yeah, thank you.
My heart just stopped.
Are you okay?
No. I will say, I did recognize his voice. He's like the mailman here, and I've gotten to know him a little bit. I was lovely, lovely, lovely man. But
the door opening when you're recording is frightful.
I didn't hear the door. That's why. So I just heard hello. My heart just stopped.
Oh my God. Okay. Do you need a minute? I'm sorry that happened. You're handling it really well.
Yeah, I feel like I actually
Usually
could have
you're
been
like,
so much worse. I know. But honestly, I can't like scream like that. It hurts my stomach.
Yeah.
That was so crazy. I need to rewatch the footage because I think I actually handled that like a real adult.
You did. You would never know.
Jackie, I'm freaking out. Like literally shaking.
She's growing up, you guys. Wearing her emotions on the inside.
Do you think he was like listening to our Summer House recap?
I think he was. I think he was sat for it. I think he's
Seriously?
I think he's now wondering what we thought about the conversation with Sierra and Paige at the DJ event.
Oh, so I'm actually glad you brought that up because I feel like, and this has been like a slow realization through every episode, like these two were so headed for breakup because, you know, sometimes you'll watch like couples fight or even Paige and Craig, like they've had like tough conversations over the course of the last couple of years, Summer House, Southern Charm, but you know that they're together. So it's like they work it through. They've never said anything during those fights that they couldn't come back from. But some of the stuff Paige is saying is so final, right? Like, is this your person? I don't know.
No, Paige had to break up with him before the season aired because he could never see this and then turn to her and be like, what? So
That's
I
my
think
man,
she
yeah.
literally broke up with him smack in between the end of summer and when the season was airing. And I think she knew there was a countdown because
100%.
the things that she was saying on the show, it's like, yeah, I wonder what we would think if they hadn't broken up yet. And it reminds me really of Kyle and Amanda, the season that they got married. And like, I feel like all the conversations that were had, like, how are these people still together?
Right. Like they were having such like devastating conversations that this is like the bad marriage, bad idea, run. But we know watching it that they're already married in real life.
Right. So like you can see
So it's
how
kind of a
just, like,
relief to watch
you
Paige.
can see, but like people do work things out and couples have issues and you choose to stay together. And I guess if you're a good reality show, you say what's on your heart and you know, you deal with the consequences whenever. But we can see the wheels falling off and their relationship not being exactly like what it's been in the past and what we thought it was at that time. And I feel like, didn't he even go to some of her shows? Didn't he go on stage at some shows?
No,
No?
not on stage. No.
I feel like I remember seeing him on stage at shows and now just like realizing that this tour really
Was
came
like a big
between
thing for them.
And it will seriously always crack me up how they talk about Craig like he is broke and jobless
Yeah.
when she definitely makes like millions more than him, but I still think he makes millions. And she's right. If she were to stop working completely, like they wouldn't be able to live at the
same level.
Like having two places and jet setting and, you know, designer, this, that, whatever. But, you know, he still makes a living. And it's like...
No, and it's very hard for men in this industry to do super well. And I think in terms of reality star influencers, Craig's probably doing it the best. He's built a real business. Like his shit sells in Kroger. He has standalone stores all over the country. Like he's probably the most successful male reality star that I can think of because you don't get to do the fun brand deals, hair and makeup, Amazon. Like there's so many opportunities for women. And when you crush it as much as Paige is the best at being a woman, influencer reality star, and Craig is really the best at being a man influencer reality star. But the two, like the best at man,
there's a gender pay gap.
It's kind of how they say like Serena Williams is the greatest female athlete of all time, but like she would lose to Roger Federer, like who's not even the greatest male athlete of all time.
Yeah, and that's a gender biological gap.
And there is a gender biological gap in the reality star influencing industry.
Yeah, there is, but it just like really makes me laugh that they talk about Craig like that went on his show. Like
he's homeless.
He's the big man on campus.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I see why they broke up, and I think that the gap between them just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and I actually
think that like it's good that they broke up. Yeah, like I was devastated when I found out.
And Craig probably wouldn't be happy living in New York City, raising kids in New York City. His wife is on tour, and he's stay-at-home dad, and he probably would have to put all of his passions on the back burner. Like it just there's no future for them. So even though they get along well and they're chicken and they laugh.
And I'm devastated. Like I really am.
But they're making it palatable watching this.
Oh, these two people should not have been together. And it's nice. And you're right. Like comparing it to Amanda and Kyle, like it's nice to see like the wheels coming off of a relationship, and like it's okay. Like they broke up and it's fine.
Yeah.
Whereas like Amanda and Kyle got married, and then we had 2 more seasons of like seriously what appeared to be like one of the worst marriages ever. Like your husband's out till 3 a.m. You're depressed. You're having health issues. Your husband doesn't help you. Like that was hard to watch. So at least Paige doesn't have to go through whatever her version of that would have been.
Yeah. So that's the episode. Yeah, Jesse Solomon. I'm really in a pickle with Jesse Solomon.
Like to go and do what he did with Shabbat, like, there's nothing you could do to make me dislike you. Yet I dislike you so much because your behavior is so abhorrent.
When he was in bed with Lexi, still singing the prayers from Shabbat, like, I love him.
I love him. And Ben came in when we were watching and he was doing the prayers. And Ben started singing along with him. He's like, wait, he's really Jewish.
And he had
he
had a real tune.
Yep.
And the way he described Shabbat, I feel like was very a very good description. It was really beautiful to see. He needs a stern talking to. Like, honestly, I think we need to talk. We need to have him on the show and say, what are you doing?
We need to call his mother.
I know.
That's what we need to do.
I know.
He's really pissing me off. He has a lot of potential.
Oh my gosh, what a guy.
And the thing is, I think that he's so charming, right? I think he's like devastatingly handsome and charming. And I think that he like dazzles all the girls in the house. Like, he gives them all a lot of attention. And I think they all like it in a a sexy way. Like, Amanda's obviously married, but I think she like likes being seen. I think they all do. He makes everyone feel really special. He's just that type of guy. So I can almost understand why they're all always just like telling him what he wants to hear, because he's dazzling.
Yeah.
But imagine if he used his powers for good.
Yeah, if he was a one-woman man, settle down.
Make an honest woman, a Jewish wife out of Lexi.
Yeah. No, but
Lexi Solomon? I know Lexi Solomon. Like, we went to camp together.
Yeah, I would be happy if he ends up with Lexi, but like I've moved on for Lexi and Craig.
No, me too. It's actually not the right man for her, but I also think it was a great entry storyline for her to be like a full-time castmate now. Like, I don't know what her story would have been, but she's literally the biggest thing that we're talking about this season, and she's the new girl.
I'm invested in her for sure.
I want her back. Like, and that's hard to do. This is a hard group to crack when you're like kind of an outsider.
Yeah. No, she's a great cast.
Yeah. So that's the Summer House recap. That's our show. I have to like seriously go to the bathroom and change my underwear because I crapped my pants when the mailman came in. But that's our show, you guys. Thank you so much for listening to the Toast Monday Morning Show, where we deliver the fast 5 stories you need to know every Monday through Friday on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. We're also available as a podcast anywhere podcasts can be found. So that's Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Public Radio, iHeartRadio, CastBox, all the places where I listen to podcasts. Find us. So Toast, leave a 5-star review about how beautiful, about how stunning, about how wickedly talented we are.
Love ya. Bye.